Hey guys, this is undercoverdudes all the way from down under, and today we're going to be talking about Tom Clancy's The Division. Now this game is an online-only, open-world, third-person shooter, role-playing video game with survival elements. I read that straight off Wikipedia, and it's a bit of a mouthful, but let's take a step back. What does this game actually play out like? To keep it really simple, it's like an MMO, a very loot-heavy MMO, like Path of Exile or Diablo had a baby with a third-person shooter. And to be really blunt, if you like those two genres, you like third-person shooters and you like loot-heavy MMOs, then The Division is a game that isn't perfect. There is some issues about it, but it's in beta, guys. When I get into a beta, I don't look for a finished game. I look for a game that has the potential to be a really good finished game. And The Division has the potential to be a fantastic MMO third-person shooter hybrid. The first thing to talk about is the cover system. And the cover system is absolutely fantastic. It does have some issues, obviously. Like, if you're going to go and try to cover into a wall, sometimes it'll go and get you, like, if you have a box, it'll get you on the side of the box, not behind the box, and then you're going to take a ton of damage from enemies. But that's something that can be fixed. The whole concept of the cover system is fantastic. You dive in the cover by pressing spacebar, and if you want to go to the next piece of cover, you just go and highlight where you want to go, and it will just be in a faint but not so faint that it's gonna be hard to see. It's a very nice shade of grey that you can go and see it, and then all you gotta do is just hold down spacebar and you dive to the next piece of cover, and it's fantastic because you can go from cover to cover to cover to cover, and there's no breaks in the gameplay. Like, you go to one piece of cover, you fire a couple bullets, you go to the next, you fire another couple bullets, and try to get a flank on. It's fantastic, and that's what I truly wanted from this game, and the fact that I got it in the very first build that I've been able to play, the beta, it really makes me happy. The next gameplay element is the shooting. Everybody's been commenting on that it takes a lot of bullets to go and kill enemies, but this game is an MMO first and foremost, and in MMOs, when you go and take a long time to go and kill enemies, it just goes and makes you strive to go and get better gear, to go and get better abilities, and the fact that it takes more than a whole magazine to go and take out enemies sometimes, that means, okay, my weapon isn't good enough. I've got to go and find a better AK-47. I've got to go and find a better whatever. And it goes and makes you strive to go and get better gear. And that really forces the MMO element. When you can go and see that at the start your character is weak, and when you're at level cap, which I believe it's 30, and you have the best gear in the game, and you're rolling around with a 6 squad, and you're destroying enemies, or, you know, putting up a really good fight against enemies, you know, okay, I progress, and that's fantastic, and that's something that I want to go and really enforce in this game. It's enforced in the beta, but I don't want to see Ubisoft really deterred by the shooter plays going and saying, oh, my gun doesn't free-shot enemies, how unrealistic. But this game isn't the shooter, it's an MMO. If you want to go and play a shooter, go and play Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I think this game is in a really good position at the moment in terms of the shooting mechanics. Now, the next really important component of a good MMO is replayability. Going and playing the same level, the same PvE, the same storyline, hundreds and hundreds of times to go and farm or just have another fun experience is something that's really crucial. Now, in The Division, we only have one core mission, and that's where you have to go and save the doctor. Now, straight up, I want to go and say that the fact that you get a rare item, well, you know, a decent item at the end of every time you go and finish that mission is really good. That goes and encourages, you know, farming for EXP and going and playing the level quite a lot. But the level is really good and it's fun to go and play. It may be a tad linear, like each time you go and play the level, it's going to be shoot these enemies, go and patch the person in, open this door, restock your weapons, shoot more enemies, blah blah. It's the same old, but what I really want to go and emphasize in the replayability of this game is the fact that you can go and matchmake with 3 other people that go and play these missions. Matchmaking MMOs, I haven't played too many of them. The fact that you can just hit the button, queue up with 3 other people, relatively instantly, get straight into the game, and it completely changes how you go and play that mission. If you have a really bad team, you're going to play super defensive, and it's going to go down to the wire with people reviving and chucking out heals. It's going to get really tense and frantic. But if you have a really good team that gets well organized, you can go and absolutely stomp the level. And even though the level hasn't changed, the bots are the same difficulty, your guns are the same, but the fact you're playing with different people really goes and makes it a very enjoyable experience. And the fact that there's going to be a lot more story levels, a lot more PvE levels in this game is great. You've also got the side levels as well. You also got the random encounters. The replayability of this game in the PvE, at least, is going to be fairly extensive, I believe. But the one thing that everybody's been talking about is the Dark Zone. The Dark Zone is the PvP, the free-for-all, where everybody goes and can potentially kill each other. Now, in the beta, at least, it seems like it's pretty good. Everybody's, a little bit peaceful, but people have been complaining, especially on Reddit, where it's like, okay, if you go rogue, you get killed so easily. But that's the point. When you go rogue, you're going against everybody else, and then you're going to get shut down so easily, and people crying, oh my god, it's so easy to get killed. Well, obviously, that's the point. If everybody could go rogue and get kills really easily, then everybody would go rogue, and it would just be a free-for-all, as I said before. So at the moment, I think it's pretty good. Maybe the wall hacks could be turned down, but at the moment, I think the Dark Zone is in a good place, besides the fact that it's a lot of doing nothing, especially in the low levels when people are trying to work out what to do, because the game doesn't guide you as much. If there's a bit more guidance and what to actually do in the Dark Zone, that would be really cool. Now, to end off this video, I want to go and talk about Endgame, and that's where I think a really big issue can lie. When you have a successful MMO, Endgame is simply an extension going far beyond what most people would go and do. And the fact that I don't know what more you could really go and do in the Division. Obviously, we're looking at a beta, but what are people going to do when they hit level cap? They're simply just going to go in the Dark Zone and kill people, go rogue, and that's all you're going to do? Is it going to be extra levels? Is it going to be something like the map mechanic in Path of Exile? We can go and get special levels and do that and get even better gear and whatnot? I don't know. Obviously, that's something to be speculated, but I think Endgame can be a potential problem for the Division, but if Ubisoft go and solve that somehow, then I think this game is going to be a pretty big success. If you guys want to go and see more of this, make sure to go and subscribe, but other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, out.